Yeah.
Oh,
Snap your neck.
better fall in line.
There's another one. There's another one with dogs.
I see him. Oh,
Dogs.
there's 3 of them. Good God.
Oh, run.
No! Come on! A term that I heard back in the mid-90s, I had no idea what it meant, but when I looked into it, and the more I've learned about it, the more I'm just like, wow. I've heard of a community standing together to fight back against something. You know, I've seen it happen. I've seen some communities like raise up and fight back against like certain things that were going on. And rooftop Koreans. Rooftop Koreans are definitely something that I just couldn't believe when I heard it. I was like, no way. No way that actually happened. But it did. I want to take... You probably remember the Rodney King riots in 1992. You remember hearing about it? Yeah, I mean, that happened during both of our lifetimes. Yeah. And the injustice that was served at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department, you know, went wholly unpunished. And the fact that those 4 officers had jobs after that is baffling to me. It just showed how the whole system out there, and in some ways it still is corrupt, but just another level back in the 80s and 90s.
No doubt. And
I just can't help but just be like whenever I heard about it, and you know, the Rodney King riots of '92, just the amount of hell that broke loose, the amount of damage that was done to the city, the amount of deaths, the amount of people wounded, the amount of people assaulted, it was just astronomical numbers that I never really could understand as a kid, and as an adult, I'm just like, damn.
It's a damn shame, bro.
It is, and I mean, whenever the violence is so bad that the Bloods and the Crips literally sign a truce and in the middle of the street tie the handkerchiefs together and like hold a peaceful protest, when the violence is that bad, when the Bloods and the Crips are calling their shit off.
It's like, man,
that's
we've
like,
seen a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, we've seen too much.
Yeah, there's like, and of course Rodney King himself is just doing the whole thing. He's just like, can't we all just get along? Yeah, and
man, Rodney, they had Rodney, boy.
Well, Rodney King is not a model citizen. Not a model citizen at all, but did not deserve any of the shit that came.
That.
No, nobody deserved it. And don't get me wrong.
He had like the whole force on him.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like,
it was like 10 of them brothers out there.
I just remember Barbershop, like the movie Barbershop, Cedric the Entertainer, like always wanting to start shit with people. He's like, don't even get me started on Rodney King. Rodney King ain't no civil rights activist. Rodney King ain't shit. It's just like how can you say that about Rodney King? Rodney King got his ass beat by the LAPD. He's like, you know what? Rodney King should have got his ass beat for driving drunk and being grown up in a Honda.
Yo.
And then all of a sudden the whole barbershop like, oh shit.
He's trying to tell us the truth, though. I ain't your front, man. You in L.A., you need to know better than that, bro.
Yeah, in L.A., the whole thing with it is just like LAPD for the longest time, you know, because of NWA, and it still holds true to this day.
Oh yeah.
Because NWA, because of all this shit here, and the various cases that happened throughout the '90s, it had a stigma around it. And a lot of people saw it as like, and there's also a movie called Rampart that has Woody Harrelson in it.
Okay.
Ooh,
good.
It's really good. That one, Dark Blue, End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Mike Pena, like just amazing movies about the LAPD and the potential corruption that's within and everything.
Potential corruption.
Well, yeah, potential. I had to say potential because hey, all of a sudden, I go out to L.A. and they're just like, oh, hey, aren't you that one YouTuber that said that the LAPD was corrupt?
We would never point fingers at you guys. We would
not at all. We're
talking about them.
Oops, I hit the microphone. Okay, for those of you wondering, it's like we got our microphones changed up. We got the one microphone right here. We got another one right over here off camera. So yeah, and that's why we also got headphones on, because you know, less bleed over from the TV and everything. So we got this here: how roof Koreans took back Los Angeles. So, shall we?
We shall.
Kick it.
Wednesday, April 29th, 1992. Chaos erupts in the streets of Los Angeles as tens of thousands of looters pillage the city. And with emergency services unavailable, business owners were left to fend for themselves. And out of all the stories told of the infamous 1992 LA riots, none have scratched the surface between myth and legend, like the story of a group of Korean immigrants taking arms on rooftops.
My God.
This is that story.
LA's just too real at times.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Look how big the city is.
Well, I mean, you got, and also the city has water shortages almost every year because it was only meant to, like, the water when they redirected the river to go and flow down and out in the Los Angeles Bay and everything. It was only meant to support about 4 or 5 million people. There are almost 20 million people that live in that city now.
Fuck that.
And
I would never live in Los Angeles.
I wouldn't. I don't think I could.
Y'all can have it.
Yeah. I think there was a time to go there, but that time is past.
Ain't it about to break off anyway? Like
The San Andreas Fault. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, all of a sudden, it's like big old encirclement of water just surrounding Los Angeles. If California could, they would saw themselves off of the United States and just like float out in the middle of the ocean.
be their own.
Yeah. But yeah, rooftop Koreans. Like this story is insane.
Bro, Koreans are on another level.
Well, you look at what they what
Hi
they
everyone,
have.
Donut here. The wait is over.
Donut.
I finally got around to making the Roof Korean video after years of anticipation. Just kidding. Here's Popo Medic.
In April of 1992, 4 LAPD officers were tried following one of the most controversial excessive force incidents in American history. And after the Rodney King verdict was read, all 4 officers were acquitted, resulting in immediate...
Damn.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Just
Oh man.
all four of these men deserve to go just go to prison.
Yeah.
And could you imagine them going to prison though, man? They would have been you've heard the term blow up doll. They would have been turned out
Easily.
Whew.
Bro.
Yeah, just all of a sudden you just have dude walk. It's sort of like that skit from Chappelle's show with him being Rick James and walking into Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy's place. It'd be like him walking in is walking inside their asshole, be like, nice place, brother.
Yeah, real talk. Let me look around.
Let me look around.
Fuck
Let
your
me
couch.
stretch out a little bit. Fuck your couch. Darknesses.
Oh, man. Are they still alive?
I think some of them might have died, but yeah, I don't know.
They look like some mean motherfuckers.
Yeah, they look like they suffer from what I would call micro penis syndrome. They gotta beat the shit out of someone to make themselves feel better. It's just this guy's just like, my wife hates me.
Yeah, real
My
talk.
children hate me. I haven't gotten my wife off since we got married. And this guy's just like, my last name's Coon. What do you expect?
Man,
Sorry.
he
I'm
looks
sorry.
the meanest, bro. He looks the meanest.
Yeah, they all
He's like he hates himself.
yeah, they all look like it, man. Anyway.
protest.
Earlier, we had quite a scene where protesters did storm the doors of Parker Center.
The protest started out peaceful, but at approximately 4:15 p.m., a group of men approached the Payless Liquor in Delhi on Florence Avenue. The men
where it
walked into
started.
the liquor store, grabbed whatever the fuck they wanted, and walked out with no intention of paying. Two of the men smashed the liquor store's front door, and another man struck the store owner's son with a beer bottle, rendering him unconscious. 911 was dialed, and 2 officers from the 77th Street Division of the LAPD responded, finding that the offenders had left upon arrival. And while making checks in the area for the offenders, a young man threw an object at their car. Approximately 24 officers, commanded by LAPD Lieutenant Michael Mullen, arrived and arrested the teenager. But the teenager put up a fight and resisted arrest. The teenager was a well-known minor in the community, further agitating a mass crowd of people who witnessed the arrest. The police formed a perimeter around the arresting officers as the crowd grew more hostile, leading to further altercations and arrests. And fearing the situation could potentially escalate to a life-threatening situation or the use of deadly force, Lieutenant Mullen ordered officers out of the area altogether.
Basically,
By 6 p.m., the looting began en masse.
Like, just completely, just like, don't go back.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine abandoning 2 districts.
No.
Like,
where do you go?
Well, and what's going to happen to the people that are left inside?
Yeah.
I mean, like, all the businesses and everything just getting burned down and, like, getting taken for everything they got.
They literally just pulled up and, like, we're starting a war.
Yeah, basically.
Scale.
Rampaging protesters looted businesses in South Central Los Angeles, setting dozens of fires. One fireman has been shot.
The crowd began to turn physically violent, seriously injuring bystanders
Yeah,
and other members within the crowd,
shit at
absolutely
firefighters.
polarizing the community and devastating business owners.
It's not right! It's not right! It's not right what y'all doing! I came from the ghetto too! Same as all of you did!
Yeah. From what I remember, that guy lost everything. Like, his house and his business got burned down, so basically he was left with nothing at the end of his riots, dude. I mean, it affected everybody. I mean, there were some big businesses that had chain stores in that area, but most of the businesses in that area were black owned. And all the assets that they built up over years and years of struggle just gone. And it's...
That's heartbreak, man.
It is, man. It's one of the most, like just life-changing things that can happen to you. Everything in your life is just taken from you. And there's nothing you can do about it because the flow of the crowd just won't stop.
The growing number of rioters in the streets began attacking civilians, throwing debris at cars, pulling people from their vehicles, smashing shop windows, and setting them on fire. The chaos had sent shockwaves into the living rooms of millions of Americans across the nation, as a Chinese immigrant by the name of Choi Si-choi and a trucker named Reginald Denny, who was delivering gravel for the construction of low-income housing, were both horrifically attacked during live coverage of the riots.
Like, on live TV, these guys were pulled out of their trucks, their 18-wheelers that they were like driving to their job and everything. Wasn't doing nothing, wasn't agitating or nothing. They got pulled out and got beat like to a bloody pulp on live
like
TV.
Rodney?
Yeah, like just got beat the fuck out of, man.
God.
At approximately 7:15 p.m., as reports of vandalism, looting, and physical attacks continued to come in, Lieutenant Mullen elected to take the information but not respond. Mullen was later relieved by a captain, ordering officers only to assess the Florence and Normandy area. And at 12:15 a.m., Mayor Bradley signed an order for a dusk to dawn curfew, as well as declaring a state of emergency for the city of Los Angeles.
The riot gear.
Oh yeah, man.
And on the following day, by mid-morning, violence appeared widespread, as extensive looting and arson was witnessed across Los Angeles County. The rioting moved from south central Los Angeles, going north through central Los Angeles, decimating the neighborhoods as far as Westlake to Fairfax, before reaching Hollywood. The looting and fires engulfed Hollywood Boulevard, and simultaneously rioting moved west into neighboring independent cities of Compton, Carson, and Long Beach. You might even remember Long Beach native Bradley Noel singing about it on Sublime's self-titled album.
First spot we hit it was my liquor store.
R.I.P. Bradley Noel, fucking legend. From Olympic Street to 120th Street laid the forefront of many small family-owned local businesses, primarily owned by first-generation Korean immigrants, many of whom escaped from North Korea into South Korea before immigrating to the United States. Many of whom were formerly voluntold soldiers who knew how to fight. And the fight came to Koreatown rather swiftly, as rioters moved up north from Florence and Normandy with a new newfound thirst for looting. At 11:30 a.m., one employee of a local gun store, David Jew, was working behind the counter when the shop phone rang. It was a phone call from his employer, Richard Park, who owned another store a few doors down. Richard informed David that he was at the nearby shop and in the middle of a gunfight. David locked up the gun store, ran across the parking lot, armed with a Beretta. When he arrived, he heard gunshots, at which point looters from across the street made their way to the gun shop plaza and opened fire on Richard and David. But when the two men fired back, the assailants fled the area immediately. Word quickly spread throughout Koreatown that this method had worked, in not only protecting Richard's property, but his life. Korean business owners who caught word of this began to phone in a Los Angeles-based radio station called Radio Korea, pleading to the radio station's audience for an armed response to help protect their property.
Everybody parked in a street and they took some everything, liquor, beer.
When you got here, you said people were still inside the store. What did you do?
Sit inside. I shut 8 times. Everybody moved.
A merchant guarding his property. You got anybody out there or just a shop?
Rick Rivera out here. All of the merchants here are not going to wait for the National Guard or police or anybody else. You talked about
Here's the thing. They all called the police, and the police never came.
Yeah.
And I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, like, they didn't want to lose their shit. They didn't want to lose any of the stuff that they built up and all that.
We're going to war, yeah.
Well, because these are people who are from North Korea. This is the good life.
Yeah.
And if they have to fight to keep it,
they're going to do that.
They're going to fight. They're going to people damn.
Especially if the cops ain't coming, yeah, what else? What's the other option? Go home and just let them take over?
Yeah, go home and just let them burn down everything that you've ever built.
Facts. Yeah, man.
Guerrilla warfare, and it's right here, right on the premises here. Just about every one of the individuals in this.
Radio Korea quickly became Koreatown's makeshift command center, warning listeners of the whereabouts of incoming looters, and offered itself as a 911 system, allowing shop owners to call out for help over the air. After the realization sank in, there would be no response from police, fire, or EMS, already stretched too thin, responding to thousands of ongoing emergencies.
가게라고 있습니까? 아니 옷가게 거기는 남자 옷이에요. 남자 옷가게 거기 탔어요? 네, 거기가 지금 불타고 있어요.
We need additional guard in here.
We have no police support whatsoever. People are driving by shooting at us, and we have to do something about it.
A local resident by the name of Ina Cho and president of the Korean Veterans Association in 1992 was listening to the broadcast and decided to call in a little broadcast of his own, requesting all Korean Marine Corps veterans to respond to the area. Soon after, a group of around 15 Korean Marine Corps veterans arrived, equipped with rifles and rendezvoused with Cho. The men responded to a large electronics warehouse, Kim's TV, where Radio Korea was broadcasting that a mob of looters were attempting to break in. The warehouse had an iron door, which the mob was beating and ramming with a truck. When the mob finally took down the door, Cho attempted to stop the looters who were sprinting inside when two vehicles with a combined occupation of 10 people got out of their cars and opened fire on Cho, hitting him one time. Richard Kim, whose parents owned the electronics store, armed himself with a semi-automatic rifle. As the warehouse was under fire, his mother suffered a gunshot wound while trying to shield his father. And as more Koreans became injured, more and more Koreans took up arms, taking positions on rooftops for maximum tactical advantage. Not only did they have the high ground and could see everything from the roof, but parapets made for the perfect cover from incoming fire. And these firefights were televised.
More familiar with weaponry than I am. He says it looks to be a 9mm Uzi.
Where Korean shopkeepers could be seen armed with M1 carbines, Ruger Mini 14s, pump-action shotguns, handguns, and Daewoo K1A1s. Look at this dude's loadout. He's got a red polo t-shirt and a Daewoo K1A1. I mean, come on. One of the most iconic photographs of roof Koreans happened at a small grocery store called California Market. The owner fortified his store with 20 well-armed employees and volunteers, all of whom were wearing white headbands. They were often shooting blanks or discharging warning shots into the...
That was also a symbol of their not only a sweatband to keep the sweat out of your eyes and all that, but to symbolize heritage-wise, but it's a symbol to the other Koreans in the area. It's just if they see one person running across the street with a white headband on, it means, oh, friendly, don't shoot. That's basically, it's like a marker.
No doubt.
Yeah.
The air, which is dumb. Gotta wonder where those went, But their methods worked as looters scattered, fleeing the area as quickly as they could. On May 3rd, after 4 days of exchanging gunfire with armed looters, the rooftop Koreans successfully forced every single wave of remaining mobs out of Koreatown, saving countless lives and livelihoods in which the Korean-American identity was born.
That's live as hell.
And on that same day, over 1,100 Marines and 6,500 National Guard troops patrolled the streets of Los Angeles, putting an end to the chaos.
I was about to say, wouldn't martial law take effect?
Eventually it did.
If it wasn't for a few brave men
for the National Guard to be mobilized.
That's a fucking shame.
4 days of the city burning before the National Guard got there and some order could be restored.
Who sent the hit, man? Somebody with money sent that hit.
I don't know, man. Honestly, there's a lot of controversy surrounding all this shit.
I guess probably too deep for YouTube.
Probably, yeah. I would say that. Anyway.
Who stood up against their opposers, Koreatown would have been unsalvageable. The nearly week-long rioting killed more than 60 people, injuring more than 2,300, and caused approximately $1 billion in damage, half of which was sustained by Korean-owned businesses. Korean Americans have come to refer to the 1992 uprising as Saigu, which translates to April 29th, the day Koreans will never forget.
Saigu.
Saigu.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more of these videos in the works and you don't want to miss them. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
They got a movie of that though, for real?
I don't think they do, but I would watch it.
Yeah, that shit.
I would watch that shit.
That shit was hardcore.
Because I would go, because all these people are like, a lot of them are probably still alive, and I'd just be like, I want your firsthand recollection of this so that we can accurately portray as close as possible.
He didn't speak of much death for real. He talked about a couple people getting hit, but
well, yeah, but Koreans, yeah, I guarantee you there were probably some deaths, but you know, none of them were like
you said, the truck driver got beat down.
Yeah,
like
but he didn't die. Him and he didn't die. Most of the deaths were, let's see, I forget 100%. Let me actually. There we are. So yeah, in total 63 people passed away.
Oh, okay.
And let's see. Yeah, Korean Americans.
Yeah.
There they are. Aftermath.
I ain't saying 63 is like a good number, but
No.
I'm saying you would expect more.
Yeah.
Due to what we just saw.
Yeah, but
it's not. I mean, again, I'm not making excuses for it, but
no,
63 is a lot. Don't get it twisted, but
oh yeah,
you know
big time, big time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There.
For 4 days. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
that's a lot.
63. Yeah, 63 people. They don't have any real detail about it, but I would say it was predominantly, just like residents of the city and everything, and
Crossfire.
Yeah, crossfire. Some of it probably people trapped in houses that were burning or trapped in buildings that were burning.
Suffocation.
Yeah, shit like that. But damn. Anyway, so yeah, that was interesting nonetheless.
That was a good one
Top
to
Koreans,
watch.
man.
Yeah, I like that.
So if y'all enjoyed and you want to see more, be sure to sorry. Be sure to check. God dang it! I had his name in my head. Not JS. Damn it. Oh yeah, it's this one here, and then let's go back.
What's his name?
Wednesday.
Popo Medic. There you are.
Popo.
Yeah, Popo Medic. Be sure to check him out, and if you want to see more, be sure to give him some love, show him some love and everything. But until then, I'm Nate.
Yo, drawn up, man.
We'll see you later, everybody.
Peace.